All right, let's talk about something I think we can all relate to, the Ramadan reset. The whole idea here is to build up our spiritual momentum before the month even starts. That way, we can hit the ground running on day one, instead of, spending the first week just trying to catch up.
Does this feel familiar? Ramadan starts, you're full of hope and excitement, but then you spend the first week, maybe even the first 10 days, just trying to get into the groove, just trying to find that spiritual rhythm.
And honestly, it's frustrating, right? By the time you finally feel connected, you're in the zone, so to speak. You look up and a third of the month is already gone. It can feel like such a missed opportunity. But what if there's a better way to approach it?
Well, to find that solution, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can actually look to the best example there is. There's a prophetic blueprint for how to prepare, kind of like a spiritual warm-up that makes sure you don't start Ramadan cold.
I absolutely love this analogy. Think about it. Ramadan isn't a sprint. It's a spiritual marathon. And no serious runner just wakes up and shows up on race day, right? Of course not. The real work, the prep that actually guarantees you'll make it to the finish line, starts weeks, maybe even months before.
And that preparation period actually has a name, Sha'ban. This is the month right before Ramadan, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, used it like a bridge. It was his designated time to really transition his heart, his mind, and even his body, getting everything ready for the immense blessings of Ramadan.
So what did that actually look like? Well, it was beautifully simple. Two key things stand out. He would increase his voluntary fasting, getting his body used to the practice, and he'd deepen his connection with the Quran, basically priming his heart for revelation. So simple, but so incredibly powerful.
Okay, so before we can start building these amazing new habits, we kind of have to make some room for them. And that means we have to take a really honest look at our lives and, well, clear out the clutter that's taking up all our mental and spiritual space.
This right here is the perfect strategy. Think of it as a less is more audit. Just look at the left column. What can you audit out of your life? Maybe it's that job stress you bring home every night, or the hours you lose just doom scrolling on your phone. Now look at the right. What can you intentionally bring in? You can actually replace that stress with peaceful vikr walks. You can swap out the mindless scrolling for inspiring Islamic lectures. It's not about emptying. It's about making a conscious, deliberate replacement.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. A long to-do list can feel super overwhelming. But don't worry, we can actually boil all of this preparation down into 3 core, totally manageable pillars. This is where the real practical work begins.
You see? It's all built on these 3 foundational pillars: the Quran, prayer, and fasting. If you just focus on these 3 areas, you can create a huge shift in your spiritual readiness. So, let's break down each one.
First up, the Quran. Now, the goal here isn't to suddenly start reading for hours every day. It's about building a relationship, making it your companion. So start small. Seriously, just 5 or 10 minutes a day. It's the consistency that builds that deep connection, not how long you do it for. Second, let's talk about prayer. We all know those long Tarawih prayers in Ramadan can be tough, physically and spiritually. So why not start building up your stamina now? You can start adding in your voluntary sunnah prayers, or maybe even try waking up for tahajjud, just once a week. You're literally training for that spiritual marathon.
And the third pillar is fasting. By fasting on the traditional Mondays and Thursdays leading up to Ramadan, you're getting your body used to it. That way, when Ramadan starts, you're not totally distracted by the shock of hunger and thirst. Your focus can go straight to the spiritual hunger, not the physical kind. So there you have it. We've got the framework, we've got the 3 pillars, but probably the most important part of this whole thing is realizing that this journey doesn't start soon or next week. It starts right now.
You have to remember this. Momentum is not something that happens in the future. It's built by what you do in the present. Every single amazing outcome you want in Ramadan is a direct result of the small, consistent seeds you plant today. Don't wait for the moon sighting. Your Ramadan reset can begin in your heart this very moment.
So let's make this real. Let's make it practical. Forget about the big, grand plans for just a second and focus on one single tiny action. I'm going to leave you with a question to act on. What is the one verse, just one, that you will open the Quran and read right after you finish listening to this? Start there.